The fate of Hunter x Hunter and whether or not we will ever see it finished has been a very hot topic of discussion for the anime community for many years at this point. I think many people can agree that Hunter x Hunter is one of the greatest anime series that has ever released. It is up there with names like Dragon Ball, Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, etc. It is definitely without a doubt one of the all-time greatest animes and mangas out there, so if it's so great, why would it not be finished? Well, unfortunately for Hunter x Hunter, the author, Togashi, suffers from many health problems, primarily in his back, which makes him incapable of writing the manga properly. In fact, Hunter x Hunter was so successful that for a brief moment in the early 2000s, it was outdoing Bleach in terms of sales, which would have certified it a spot in the anime Big Three. However, after it went on hiatus, it clearly fell behind in terms of sales in comparison to animes such as Bleach, One Piece, or even Naruto. In fact, if you take a look at the hiatus chart of Hunter x Hunter, you can see when the author's health began to start deteriorating. As you can see, towards the early 2000s, the manga went on hiatus for very long periods of time, going close to years without the manga being released, and then up till recently, it actually went on for many years without being released. Now, fortunately for us, this many year-long hiatus did end with us receiving brand new Hunter x Hunter chapters just very recently. And we do know from Togashi's social media that he is constantly working on Hunter x Hunter, making sure he can finish as much of the story as possible. But even with us getting new chapters, and even with Togashi constantly working on the series, how likely is it that we are ever going to see the conclusion of Hunter x Hunter? And in all honesty, I hate to say it, but I don't think we are ever going to see this amazing series finish. For starters, Togashi is not young. He is nearing the age of 60 years old, which may not be old, but it's definitely not young either. Whatever health problems he has, they are most likely going to keep growing and growing as he keeps getting older and older, which is very unfortunate, but unfortunately that's just how life works. There's no way he's going to wake up one day and have all of his health problems just disappear. On top of that, the world of Hunter x Hunter has gotten so much vastly bigger that we have barely explored anything of the story. I mean, just take a look at the map in the series. Do you see that little dark blue circle in the bottom left corner? That is the current world that we've explored in the series. Hunter x Hunter has spent nearly 400 chapters just exploring that portion of the world. And with the Dark Continent being introduced, look how much left of the world there is to explore. Hunter x Hunter could easily be at the length that One Piece is at right now if they continued with the story, because their world is definitely big enough to do so. But if we spent nearly 400 chapters just exploring this tiny portion of the world, imagine how much longer Hunter x Hunter needs to be in order to explore the rest of this. And even if we were to lowball it and say that the Dark Continent arc would only be 100 chapters long, which in my opinion would be ridiculously rushed, but let's just say Togashi decides to finish and wrap up the story as quickly as possible and shortens this arc to just 100 chapters. Us even just getting 100 chapters more is extremely unlikely looking at the hiatus chart and seeing how long these hiatuses last. Like, yeah, I'm aware that we are currently getting brand new chapters, but this is nothing permanent. This is not going to be a consistent thing. Because Togashi has recently come out and said that every time he is working on a chapter, it feels like his spine is crumbling before him, which just further shows that his health is just constantly deteriorating as time goes on. And again, me saying 100 chapters just for the Dark Continent arc is an extreme lowball, because once again, look at how much there is still left to explore in this world. You cannot explore all of this in just 100 chapters. On top of that, there are still so many other stories that we still need to go into, such as Kurapika's story and character arc, Hisoka, Chrollo. We need to see Gon's come back. We need to see Killua's come back. We need to see all of that. So 100 chapters left is extremely unrealistic. Now, a lot of people still do have faith, because if you don't know, Togashi's wife is actually the author of Sailor Moon. So a lot of people believe that if Togashi cannot continue his own story, his wife will carry it on for him. And I hate to be that guy, but there is absolutely zero confirmation from Togashi or Togashi's wife that she will be the one to continue on Hunter x Hunter if Togashi himself is incapable of doing so. Now, is there absolutely no hope for us to see an ending? Well, personally, I would not say so. However, it's definitely not going to be in the way people want it to be. If we do see an ending for Hunter x Hunter, most of the chapters are going to have to look like this. The chapters would have to have little to no images and be absolutely filled to the brim with texts, because this would definitely speed up the process and would eliminate the problem Togashi has with drawing his characters given his back problems. Another possibility is that we completely novelize Hunter x Hunter, we go from the manga format and turn it into a novel, which I personally would not mind that much. But I do know a lot of people would be extremely unhappy if this is how most of the chapters came out looking, or if Hunter x Hunter turned into a novel, because a lot of people want Hunter x Hunter to be finished in the traditional manga format. But again, us seeing a traditional manga formatted ending for Hunter x Hunter, I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but I don't think that's going to ever happen. And this does just genuinely suck, because Hunter x Hunter, I'm gonna say it, it has the potential to be the greatest anime and manga series of all time. Again, everything we know of this series comes from this tiny little world. We have barely explored anything in the actual world of Hunter x Hunter, yet it is still already one of the greatest manga series that has ever come out. And Togashi genuinely cares about his work and pleasing the audience more than anything, which is why he is still working on it despite his numerous amounts of health issues. And seeing how much Togashi cares about his series, there is no way he would rush his masterpiece. So me saying 100 chapters of Hunter x Hunter is left earlier is pretty much just completely out of the question. And unless Togashi decides to novelize his series, or get some sort of assistant to help him, or his own wife decides to carry on the series for him, there's just no way we are ever going to see Hunter x Hunter finished. The odds are completely against it. I mean, in the past few years alone, we get a few chapters here and there, and then the series goes on hiatus for years on end. And in those years, the creator is not getting any younger, and Hunter x Hunter is not getting any shorter, on top of the fact that there is still so much left to explore in the series. And I do genuinely stand by the idea that if Hunter x Hunter concluded and wasn't rushed, it would probably go down as the greatest manga series of all time. But again, unless Togashi decides to find alternative methods, it is just not going to finish, which is very unfortunate, but that is the harsh reality of the situation.